This story isn't mine alone, nor would I ever claim it as such. I'm a microcosm in the mosaic of shared experiences and the multi-layered effort to shine a spotlight on blood cancer. But I'll do my best to highlight this particular story. October 2nd, 2008. I will never forget the day we found out my wife Jen was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, or the period of tests and scans days before that led to discovering a cancerous tumor the size of a tennis ball in her lung. Or the voicemail she left for me on September 22nd, 2008, explaining through tears she was coughing up so much blood that she needed to go to the ER. When you love someone who is hurting and enduring a transformation both physically and psychologically, it is heartbreaking. Especially when that someone is only 19 years old at the time. Chemotherapy was a tidal wave of extreme pain juxtaposed with extreme bravery. In Jen's case, it meant treatment every 14 days for 6 months. There's not a lot one can do but try to live one day at a time and take advantage of moments that make the unwelcome odyssey you're forced through more manageable. Following months of treatment through remission, while you're trying to regain your energy and get back into the swing of life, you can't help but ask yourself possibly the most challenging question of all. Why did this happen? Why did this have to happen? There's no answer, and the fact that there's no acceptable answer, only speculation, becomes a cancer in its own way. As part of Jen's support system, I carried those impossible questions with me for years and watched it affect Jen in ways difficult to articulate. I carried it all the way through our wedding day in 2012 and to assisting my mother-in-law with her Woman of the Year campaign. It was through my mother-in-law's campaign that brought me to work directly with LLS, where for the last 7 years now, I've had the great privilege and opportunity to create micro-documentaries featuring child cancer patients and their families for the Man and Woman of the Year grand finale galas, which led to winning the Lifeblood Award. Every story I've worked on for the last 7 years is unique, singular, but at its core, universal. The thing about being human is that you don't need to know the experience firsthand to understand the experience. It takes an enormous amount of courage to share a story. Whether it's a parent recounting a plethora of feelings or a 13-year-old sharing an experience with treatment in order to pass wisdom along to other children about to face the journey. It's through my past documentary work with LLS that I'm thrilled to receive the Leukemia Lymphoma Society Man of the Year nomination. And the goal of this campaign is to raise $50,000 in 10 weeks. In thinking about the intent of this campaign, considering my personal ideology and worldly beliefs, this is about and for the collective. I'm running in honor of my wife Jen, who is celebrating 13 years cancer-free, but that time hasn't been without struggle. I'm also running in honor of the children and parents I've worked with over the years, who've allowed me into their homes and shared their deepest fears and most hopeful dreams. But it can't end there. This campaign is for those whose lives have forever changed, for the families looking for answers, and those that have yet to face their battle. No matter where you come from, what your situation looks like, how severe your diagnosis is, you are never in this fight alone.